U.S. senators were handed satellite phones. At least 50 U.S. senators in Congress received a satellite phone that would be used for emergency communication as part of new security measures. So, what type of emergency would be needed? Well, if the grid goes down, because satellite phones don't rely on electricity. They don't. Let me do this. Your cell phone and the tower relies on electricity. Let me get this in here. Relies on electricity, you all, and let me come out here on this porch. Let me open this up, you all. Oh, it feels really nice out. Feels real nice out. So, do you think something's coming? Really think about it. Is something coming, you all? Something that we may not be prepared for. When I first heard about satellite phones, I thought, wow, it'd be nice to have a satellite phone to use in the event of a grid down emergency. I think they're around, I don't know, $10,000 maybe for let me see this, for a satellite phone. I don't like to be out here without shoes on. I got to get some sandals. I don't like to walk barefooted because I don't like the bottom of my feet to get dirty, but I didn't mind when I was little, but I mind now because anything could be out there. So how many people have a satellite phone and how many people can afford a satellite phone? Think about that. Can you afford a satellite phone? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, so let me see this. I could probably put this, let me do this, you all. Let me put this in front of me because I can do it. I did it. Never thought about doing this before. Satellite phone, let me flip this around. It's really nice out right now. It feels real nice. It's cool, but that's okay, you all. I want to see what's up with that because we don't watch the news. It is nice to sit outside. I was about falling asleep and thinking, I'm so exhausted. Oh, what happened? I unlocked my laptop up. See, I've got me a small laptop. Look at that. Doesn't that look inviting? I'm sure they got virtual reality where you can go into the woods like that. I like going down paths that have that. So the senators are issued satellite phones for emergencies. More than 50 senators have been equipped with a satellite phone. Let's see what it says, you all. Heightened security measures revealed because something is going on, and we know it. We know something is. Response to growing concerns over the security risks faced by members of Congress, a significant development has emerged that aims to bolster their safety and communication capabilities. Proactive response to escalating security effects, comprehensive security measures. Well, see, and if you got Mr. Elon Starlink going above and or certain satellites, you can have that cell phone service, you can, but it'd be a satellite phone. Hello, you heard about it? You all, if you know about different types of phone you can get that's cheaper than a satellite phone, let's see this. A satellite phone is cheaper than the new iPhones. Oh, wow. So was I pretty close around the ballpark figure of around $1,000 for a satellite phone and not $10,000? I hope I was. The technology, oh, okay. They embraced the initiative is what they did. Homeland Security recognizes the satellite phones in disaster response. Yeah, and you don't have to worry about getting kicked off. You don't have to worry about your phone going dead. What really bites it, yeah, it's around $1,000 to $2,000. I haven't checked into it for a long time, but the good news is for those who's got one, Satellite phones do not depend on power grid to work, and one of the most common uses of satellite phones is used during emergencies and natural disasters when power and cell phone service is typically down. So really, I wonder, if you got a satellite phone, would you have to have a oh, what do you call that thing? See, I can't even think straight no more. It's not a certification. Would you need to have a license, some kind of communication license to use a satellite phone? Like if you operate a CB radio, you got to have like a ham radio operator, things like that. If you do ham radio operating license and stuff like that. Hello, emergency broadcast system is coming soon. Um, yeah. I'd like to see an image of it. I really wanted to see what the images might look like of a satellite phone if you've never seen one. I'm sure they're big and bulky. They probably look like the ones that they're... No, it doesn't. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Is that a satellite phone? It looks like a walkie-talkie phone. It really does. Kind of looks like a... Is that the same thing as a ham radio phone? Two-way radio phone? One of these right here. Um, that's it. I really wonder if you have to have a license to operate it. It's for those who live off grid, but if the satellite is not flying over your head, and if you're in the middle of nowhere and you can't get a satellite signal, it's not really going to help you. If the trees are blocking your satellite coverage, make sure you're stocked up on food, you all. Read some of the comments. Nancy, honey, yeah. Fuel and some extra cash in small denominations on hand. Because if you got big bills don't spend. They don't, because, and really think about this. Let's think about this, you all. In a grid down situation, an emergency situation, and you gonna have to barter. If you say, well, I got all this money, I'll trade you my cash for this food, or I'll trade you my cash for whatever it is. If your cash is if cash is worthless, you better have something tangible to barter with. You really have something tangible that somebody can use, because you don't want to be having to take that money and be like the Weimar Republic, wheelbarrows full of money to heat their homes, paper money and wheelbarrows, because their money depreciated. Boom, it was worthless. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath. Money is worthless. It's worthless, especially if the money ain't worth nothing and you got all this money. Now, you all, come on now. We got to think straight. We got to get into survival mode, but this really is interesting. With the satellite phones, emergency zone, do you have to, but who would you call? If you don't got no friends who have a satellite phone, you're tough, out of luck, and they can listen in on your communications too. If you think, well, I'm going to be sneaky, I'm going to have a satellite phone, nobody's going to hear. Oh, they'll hear everything you got to say. CB radios are an alternative thing. I did do a video on here to get a GMSR license. I think that's what it's called. And I did, because you could go online. I think I got one for like $70, a GMSR radio license. It's a step below the ham radio license. Oh, GMRS, not SR. I always get it right. It's called a General Mobile Radio Service license for channels on the, yeah, they changed the megahertz channels too. Also on the CB radios, they did something to them, and I don't know what they did, you all, but we got 50 U.S. senators, probably even more, that got satellite radios, and there's probably all of them got satellite radios. They probably have a choice. Do you want a satellite radio? Because we really like to get a hold of you in a time of a disaster. So you could say that too. Whiskey is tangible. Yeah, I used to store up some whiskey, even though I don't drink it. I tried it one time, and it was horrible. I'll tell you what I did. I took maybe this much, maybe 1 tablespoon of whiskey. I thought, I'm going to make me a hot toddy. And because I was really bad congested. And I didn't even know what a hot toddy was, but I knew I had some Jack Daniel whiskey down in the basement, and I was going to use for barter years ago, a little bottle of it. So I made some Jack Daniel thing. I think I might have put honey in it or something. I don't know what I did. And I might had, what did I might have took something for congestion, and I drunk that. I drank that much of that, and my head was spinning like that, and my heart started palpitating, and I thought I was going to die. I, I hope my heart doesn't explode. I thought I was going to die. It was like this much of it. That is the worst tasting stuff I've ever ate. I did is that much. I thought, I guess that's a hot toddy. I don't know. I can't handle alcohol. I can't. That stuff is nasty. But some people, they can do it. Whatever a hot toddy is, Gina Honey does not know how to make it, and it'd probably do more harm than good to me. It would. Loopy, that's right. It would make me feel loopy. It did. My head was spinning. Same thing that happened to me when I had surgery after breast cancer and stuff. When they chipped away on my rib cage. I never took any medicine powerful. I took like maybe 2 ibuprofen, but they gave me a really strong medicine. I think what was that called? Like a hydrocodone or something like that for, surgery. I took 1 pill when I came home that day because it was the worst pain I ever felt in my life. And I was sitting there and my head was spinning and I thought, oh my gosh, I will not take no more of this stuff. And I didn't. I'm not one for any type of medicine either. And you may be like that too. But if your body's not used to it, don't abuse it and try to get it used to it. Don't do it, you all. But we're talking about 50 U.S. senators. I don't know how we got on a hot toddy. Gina, honey, you are all over the place. I can't help it. Yeah, they got it. They got issued satellite things. And, the military, yes, of course they use satellite radios. That's just my husband used it when he was in the military because he was in ESSA, electronic security, whatever, systems assessment. And they had those type of phones that they would carry out to the range at Beatty, Nevada and Tonopah, Nevada when they go do their little bitty missions out there and stuff. And he had to go set up on a high hill. He did. He sat on a big high hill with great big towers out there in Tonopah and Beatty, Nevada. And he said it was so boring. We were just sitting there and just waiting and just listening with their headphones on and seeing what the pilots were saying as they were flying over and stuff. Um, he wouldn't even talk about that either. He wouldn't. Yeah, which was weird, but that's okay, you all. So your cell phone ain't going to do you no good. It's not going to do you no good. And really, you're going to be in total survivor mode. If the grid goes down, you're going to be in survival mode. So that's why it's so important to get your stuff ready now. Get it ready now. Do all that you can do now to prepare you all, both inside and outside. I have a tendency to spend too much time outside when the weather's nice trying to get things done than I do on the inside, but you're supposed to finish your outdoor work first. That's what it says. And then go do your indoor work, you all. Yeah. Soon you're going to love. The story ends, well, I love how, I'd like to see the evil taken out. But there are consequences and there are consequences to everything. And some of those consequences are unintended ramifications, really. Think about that. So they got it. Why are they just bringing this out now? They just want to try to get the people ready one day ago, and chances are they've had them since for a long time, you all. So this could be very old news, and they're just now bringing it out again because they do that. They do. Nancy, honey, you don't have any, but you buy a dog food. Oh, that's great. Since they don't have a clue about that stuff. Nancy. Um, yeah. So, Have you all been hearing that something's coming really soon? Maybe August time frame or September time frame, something coming around here? Our world can literally go like that overnight. You wake up, you go to bed, everything's fine. You get woke up the next morning or in the middle of the night, and then boom, your world is changed forever because something catastrophic or something very has happened, and all the news channels, all the social media, everybody's talking about it. And it's too late then to prepare. You be scrambling just like on the Black Friday, whatever, after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving sales, and people will just line up in hordes outside the stores. That's don't do it. It'll change in 1 hour. Yeah, they said in 1 hour her doom has come. That's what it says, in 1 hour. And but you know how long is 1 hour? We know what 1 hour is in Earth time, but what is 1 hour in something other than Earth time? We don't know. We don't. Mm-mm. Hello there, you all. So 50 U.S. senators, um, it's a little bit cold, were issued cell phones. We should see the names of them, but oh, look, the Federal Communications, the FCC. Look, in case of a disruptive event, disruptive, that means something's happened. Is that her? And is that him? I don't know about that. Her or him, you all, who knows? They're being deployed, communication is being deployed to ensure a redundant and secure means of something communication during a disruptive event. Now, you don't know what you're going to see when you click on the internet because there's a lot of inappropriates there that never used to be there before, you all, really. They're preparing for us, and it's gradually revealing bit by bit. Last 3 weeks at decoding. One day, that's all it takes, you all. What, I don't know why only 50 senators. I bet if we did, how many senators, what about representatives? You got the House, you got representatives, you got senators. How many senators? How many government officials? What's about that? Probably all of them. OFFICIALS have satellite phones. I really did think about getting it, but would I even know how to use it? That's the thing. I wouldn't know how to use it, you all. I really wouldn't. Then if you got you a CB radios or something like that, and you don't know how to use it, and you have access to a printer or something, print it off now. Print the instructions off now. That way, when it comes time for you to use it and you don't know how to use it, you're going to have the instructions on hand in a little bitty folder that you can read how to use it. I need to do that. I didn't do that. At least I don't think I did it. I might have done it, you all. If you got something that you bought and you don't have the instructions to it, write it out, print it off ahead of time, because if the grid goes down and you're relying for that on your computer and you can't power up your computer or your cell phone and or your laptop, then you're going to be out of luck. You are. Yes, there's more than 50. There are more than 50, but they wanted to use the word 50. So then you'll have to ask, why did you got to? Oh, the VA cannot locate $700,000 worth of satellite phones. Officials have been trying to locate the missing phones since December. Well, that is a federal, that's a federal investigation. 110 were located. Let's look at that, you all. So why are they going to do that? Next.gov. Let me do this, you all. Try to see how on earth I'm going to get out of that site because this is so silly. I got to wait for it. You want to know why they do this. Breaker, breaker, 19. Is anyone there? Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear. Remember that? Look at that. This would be a disaster right here. For decades, the Veterans Affairs employees have had trouble finding emergency communication devices when they needed it the most. For decades. They are missing more than $700,000 in emergency satellite phone devices, while a bureaucratic quagmire prevents IT officials from fixing the situation. When disasters strike, the VA employees move swiftly to ensure the safety of their veterans and their care as well as their communities. The Office of Emergency Management for use when the terrestrial networks go down. Hurricane 549 Iridium satellite phones. What's an Iridium satellite phone? Do y'all got an Iridium satellite phone? They can only account for 110 of them. And a mess of bureaucratic finger pointing prevented the VA staff from clearing the missing devices from their inventories and reinstocking. You remember CB radio back in the late 70s and 80s, yeah. They don't know. We don't know. Where are the phones? Where are the phones? We don't know. They don't know. Nobody wants to put their name on it. So they cannot move forward. Nobody. They know where it went. Look at this. So look how much their satellite phones cost. $1,615 per phone. I'm sure those satellite phones have a tracker in them, you all. Just like our cell phones and our computers, they got trackers in them. Almost $1 million. That's probably just the tip of the iceberg, you all. So people got satellite phones. If you're just tuning in, that was the headline. You got a migraine? Oh, imagine everything would be crippled if the satellite wars began. Yes, space wars. Space wars, you all. It's gonna, and you're gonna have stuff falling from the sky when those space wars start off. Really, you're gonna have big things just falling straight down like that from above. And they probably look like a ball of fire. Really, how big is a satellite? Well, we know we got 10 centimeter cube satellites up there in orbit. Just 10 centimeters, however big 10 centimeters is, it's not really big at all. That's teeny tiny. Really, if you think about it, it's so tiny. Probably it's not even big as a dice. Could you imagine satellites up in orbit? Little things as big as a dice, gathering data. I could imagine it. Yeah. Banks are crashing. Yeah, the banks are crashing, you all. Tony Rivera, hello. Everything. Oh, it will happen in June. So we got the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling. Yeah, so who knows? And this could just be, well, the Vatican knew everything was going to happen. That's why they wanted all the money to be brought into them before a certain time. What was it? The first of like end of September, October. I can't remember. It was end of August into September. When they wanted all the gold and money be brought back to the Vatican vaults. They knew ahead of time, so they didn't waste no time. They didn't. You have a lot of space junk. You agree. Moab to continue. The Moab. Judy Jolly, would you like to explain that? You're waiting for the Moab to continue? What are you speaking about, Judy, honey? Would you like to help explain it to us? Yeah. Because I'm quite curious. You're waiting for the Moab to continue. Yeah. Some people may not be familiar with what you may be talking about. They may not. at all. Yeah. Um, to come. Yeah. So 50 U.S. senators were satellite phones. Issued satellite phones. And you know, there's more than 50 people who were issued satellite phones. And now they got some missing satellite phones. And if I was a senator or somebody like that, and I was really concerned about communications, so that would be one of the things, first thing on my list. I would buy something like that, is what I would do. Yeah, the good people to join and win the Moab. Yeah, I would do that because that would be part of my survival kit, something like that. Um, Country boy, that's right. There ain't no telling what's going to happen. Hello there in Illinois, you all. I'm just sitting outside hoping this mosquitoes don't attack me while sitting here, even though I'm on the porch. The mosquitoes are out there. And if you get in the grass, you're going to get bit by the chiggers because they're too. Gina, are you an anon? I don't know what an anon is. Um, I don't like labels. And if it's what I think you're saying, no, I'm not an anon. Okay, I'm not. um, I'm not an anon. Some people, I've been called a lot of things. I really have. Um, yeah. We're brainstorming, you all. We love it. We are the children of the sun. Copy that, Teddy Dare. This is Rubber Duck. Ah, that's sweet, you all. It is. Yeah. Oh, see here, when you said Moabs, my mind automatically went to the biblical Moabites, the pagans. Yeah, like when you said it, that's where Gina Honey's mind went, like a Moabite woman. Yeah, that's what I thought about. If y'all didn't know, there are Moabites in the Bible. The history and important people. The Moabites were a pagan nation, which means they did not worship or serve Yahweh. Idolatry was one of the innate characters of all, so I immediately thought Judy, honey, was calling Gina a Moab. I did. I did, you all. I admit it. I did. That's where my mind automatically went. Yeah, it went to a biblical reference. Um, yeah. So if you didn't know about that, that is in history too. There's lots of things in history, you all. A whole lot of stuff there is, and yeah, it's all right. There's a lot of history that's out there that's not even spoken about, and there's a lot of incorrect history. There is a whole lot of incorrect history that's going on, and therefore, since it's incorrect, then it is the pot has been steered to reflect an incorrect narrative out there, you all. But what we got to do is we got to keep the faith on the inside of us. We got to keep the love. We got to continue. We got to put on the full armor of God. We got to guard our heart. Um, I once heard someone say to another individual, you give the phrase of guarding my heart a whole new meaning. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Guard your heart, and then you're speaking to someone who you give that a whole new meaning when you guard your heart and you're speaking to somebody that you thought, yeah, it's pretty powerful words if you think about it, you all. It is. That's right. Mm-hmm. We we can do it, you all. We can. We can. It's all right, you all. We got to raise awareness. We got to, now's not the time to divide and conquer. It's not, you all. We got to come together. We got to put our differences aside. We do. And it's hard because, we have stuff ingrained in us from generation to generation to generation. And ingrained by the news, ingrained by the television, all forms of media, ingrained by the friends that we hang around with, the places that we go, the things that it's what goes inside of a person. It's what goes inside of you that really makes who you are. What's on the inside? What have you been consuming? Really think about it. What have your eyes been watching? What have your ears been listening to? What has your mouth been speaking? That's really going to determine on the inside of there, especially if it's not good. And it'll come out of you. It will find out. There was a song, garbage in, garbage out. What comes out is a foul mouth. All can see what goes in me, and I pay the price. Yeah. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. That's right. You're going to be right back, Judy, honey. You can be right back. That's right. That is. It's I liked it because it told a story, and it's true. You all the garbage that goes you take in that garbage. It's not what you put in your mouth, your hands that defile a person. It's not what you eat. It's what goes inside of you that defiles the person. Eaten with unclean hands is not what defiles a person. It's what goes inside of you. Boom, right there. And it's spiritual, more or less, because there's spirits in this body. You got a soul, you got a spirit. You're human for now. I hope not. Well, there's some of you on here who do want to be a Borg, who want to be implanted with AI technology, augmentation with body and machine. There are some who are looking forward to it, and it is good. You know, if you're crippled, you don't have an arm, it's nice to have a prosthetic arm. You know, so you can have some more use of your body that you used to have, or your hands, or stuff like that, or your hearing. See, that's a good use. That is a good use of technology. It really is, but it has a tendency to be used in way off the deep end. It does. Yeah, love is the shield. Yeah, you give guarding my heart a whole new meaning. You all, that's really says a lot because it's the wellspring of life. Yeah. You lost 2 fingers and you will stay this way. Vonda, honey, I think that's great. You will stay this way. I do think that's great. Yeah. So you all, the 50 U.S. Senators, we went on a journey. And where were they at, you all? The VA couldn't find over almost $1 million worth of the satellite phones that, let's see, can the government shut down a satellite phone? With satellite phones, shutting down a network is impossible, as governments have no control over the satellites. So now you know, if you're trying to figure out what you're going to do with your money, you could get you a satellite phone. You really can, because they rely on the satellites in orbit. And anybody, more or less, if you got the money, you can get a satellite going up there, and you can like pick off data off that satellite. You lost your back, but you laugh incessantly. You are homebound. Attitude is absolutely everything, you all. We're going to have a Carrington event that will take us back to the 1800s, and you will have to live like the Amish. And they're all around me in the countryside. I think they might have had a wedding yesterday. So many of them came up the road, and early in the morning in their wagons. They come from all over the back country roads, and they gather at one place and have their, I guess, wedding or whatever it was. I hope it wasn't a funeral, but and then I saw a lot of them in a row. They all coming back home with their not trucks, the horses going up and down the hills, and their children on the back, and the women in the front with the men. Yeah, it's really neat. Don't take pictures of the Amish because it is forbidden. It is. Oh, Nathan, honey, that's a really hard life. The women, the women has really hard work. Their work is never done. It is never done. They tend to the gardens and do all the canning, the cooking, the cleaning. And well, the men go out and work for a living, they do. But it's a hard life. It is a hard life, and it's not for a lazy person. But it's a good life. It's the only life a person knows if that's the only life they live. Yeah. Um, the women do everything. That's okay. They even have the babies. They do. Um, so the government cannot cut down your satellite phone. If you want to invest in your bug out bag, you might, and you got the money to do it. You can get you a satellite phone, but can the government track? Can the government track a satellite phone? Authorities can find the position of a triangulation, but to track a phone in this manner, the individual would need to be relatively close by. So you would be in luck, you all. You would be in luck. So there, you got it. You want to throw something and you got the money and you want to spend your money before it loses its value on something resourceful. You could get you one of those. I'm sure you can buy some kind of solar panel to charge it. You might want to buy backup, I don't know, battery pack or something. I don't know how you would do it. You all, you might have to get you a big antenna or something like that. You all, satellite phones is what the topic is right here. Yeah, Sage, honey, and give one to your daughter. That's right. Well, as you can see here, I don't know who I'd be able to communicate with. There's mountains up here. Actually, I'm way up. I'm around 800 feet above sea level, almost 800 feet. And the hills do block signals. We don't got no signals out here. There's only 3 large telephone carriers now in the whole United States. Is it T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T? And if you wondered why your phone is not, you're supposed to have free roaming and you're not getting the coverage that you used to get because you don't have signal in certain places. Well, if your specific carrier does not have an agreement with those towers, you're not getting a signal, and your roaming, free roaming, will not work if there is not a contract with the people who own those. So roaming is not what we used to have. Okay, I don't get a signal out here. I don't get a signal until I use Wi-Fi. I don't get a signal until they just disconnected me. 20 seconds have passed. Just like that. I guess you're not supposed to know that. Yeah. Your roaming is not what it used to be. If you have a mobile plan and you're supposed to get free roaming, well, there's only 3 carriers now. If your carrier does not have a contract, have an agreement with the person in that satellite tower or whatever it is, you will not be able to get the signal. That's why there's big gaps all over the place. So I guess, yeah, you need to know that. You really do. What's $500 and it's news? It's new. You had disconnecting all day long. See, I'm setting right here. I haven't moved an inch. And I'm on Wi-Fi, and my signal was interrupted. My signal don't get interrupted on my big computer because it's a hard connect, a physical thing. It used to all the time when I'd use the phone. Your weather channel has been pixelating for a week, you all. So the senators are getting this. What is the word? What is the word? They're going to prepare for an emergency. This is an emergency because an emergency just might occur. And so they gave them satellite phones, 50 senators. That's kind of weird. You got this, but what is the event? We don't know what the event is. I guess it's just for any type of emergency. And your cell phones don't work anymore. Even like with a hurricane or something like that, um, when there is no cell service and the power lines are out and electricity's out, you would have a satellite. They would need a satellite phone to have communication between government officials and military officials, you all. You ever see countries go black? The like there's a blackout in countries. There's no news, that is, no traffic comes in or out of certain countries. Like China's done it a lot, and when they do it, you know what happens when they do it. When you see a big blackout, oh, it's hidden. The governments of the world know what's going on, but there'd be a lot of stuff happening if this ever happens. If the grid ever goes down, you can rest assured behind the scene things are happening fast. And when it comes back up, or before it comes back up, you're going to know that great change has occurred. I heard about that. New York City power blackouts. Try the fabric. Try some fabric. You can, what do we, fabric for your phone? EMF fabric. We have the West Nile here, and you got to be careful, you all. So 50 U.S. senators, I'm trying to get over to it. 50. Oh, I see, and this is not one of me to write. U.S. senators. U.S. senators have satellite phones. Look, it's the satellite phone technology has been offered to all 100 senators. They learned at least 50 have accepted the phones. Batteries, you all. Yeah, 50 have accepted them. Well, I wonder which. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say which 50. Who were they? I'm not. Hello, Christine, my honey. You got you a satellite phone for when the grid goes down, or are you gonna ride the wave, Christine, my honey? Yeah. It's the day of reckoning. And yeah. You know, like I've never really been a big fan of Star Wars, but when I did watch one part of it, they were like in a battle against something, and all the while, whoever this entity was, this was it the Dark Lord or something, he had built an army of drones or whatever it was, robots. He had them all built. There were thousands of them already built ahead of time. And they used them to do something, you all. Now, see, I'm not a Star Trek fan, but I remember that this was already going on behind the scenes ahead of time. I got a mosquito flying around. Thank you. Well, I'm sitting right here. The sun's not, I got good lighting. I got good lighting right here, you all. And I haven't really done nothing today. I haven't. I have relaxed today is what I've done. The only thing I've done really is come on here and do a few videos. And I cooked some supper. I visited a neighbor. And I took it really easy. And my day has flown by. But thank you. What was that, you all, about the... if you have a second car, take the battery terminals off. And it won't break the car and it will run. They programmed them in the movie Crooked Arrow. There's a butterfly. They programmed the robots in the movie. Was it the stormtroopers? The storm is upon us. Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers. So you could say stormtroopers, right? What did the stormtroopers look like? Yeah, let me see that. Stormtroopers, you all. Who were the stormtroopers? Because I know they got them today. They're bound to have the technologies because they made them in the movie. They knew what they were going to make them look like. Well, just throw some, what's that what's that gear they wear when they break into people's houses? What do you call it? Because this kind of looks like it. The gear that they, riot gear. This kind of looks like riot gears, except they got these on their face. These were the stormtroopers, I guess, that they made ahead of time. Yes, that when I seen these, that's what it reminded me of, the stormtroopers. Oh, they're going to the bathroom. That's not a good picture to show you all. I thought I could see the back of their suits with their material or whatever, but I think they were going to the restroom. Oh, no. No, it's all right. I thought, what is, you can see the back, but that's what the stormtroopers do. I think that they have things like that on them. Look at the riot gear. Let's see what the riot gear looks like too. Let's do it. Riot gear. Yep, it kind of looks like it, you all. That's Damascus. Um, it's almost like that, but you can imagine. Look at that. Look at that, you all. That is kind of what they look like. Oh, wow. That looks like the Denver murals. It does. Like the Denver airport. It does kind of look like stormtroopers. You wouldn't know. You would not know if there were some robotic stormtroopers who showed up and they had white on or black on. You wouldn't know if they were human or not because their face would be covered up. You wouldn't be able to see nothing. They'd have shields over their face. Natural animals. It looks like bees and it looks like a bee mask. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Clones. Yeah, clones. Clones and drones. See, I've got these insects like to come out at night, you all. So it's, yeah. So, oh, Emeth. Look, Emeth, honey, what did you say? Emeth, let's see. Emeth, honey. Emeth 1455. Did you hear that AI posted a video stating that there was an explosion at the Pentagon? It was a fake video. The stock market went down. I guess it wanted a response. You all, this was 1 hour ago by Emeth. Did you all hear that? Was there something about that, you all? Wow. Really? Wow, thank you, Emeth. Wow, you all, do you see that? Stock market went down because AI did it. Oh, we are in trouble. We are in trouble, you all. Let me get up. Let me look. Let me get up. Let me walk this way. Walk this way and talk this way. Yeah. Okay, I'm just looking out here. As the sky is still like that. Okay, so we got that, you all. We do. We got some lemons out here. I had a neighbor when lived in the projects. Her name was Connie Justice. And she had 2 children I would babysit for her. I was just a teenager. And she would always use lemons for something. I think she might have been mixing up some kind of drink, but she would use fresh lemons for something, you all. I don't know what she used them for, but I remember lemons. You all should get the Signal app for your phone. Signal app. Okay. AI, what did she say? AI and Pentagon. Pentagon, stock market. Wow. You all, this is serious. It's really serious. Fake image of the Pentagon explosion briefly sends jitters through the stock market after artificial intelligent image of a fake explosion near the Pentagon goes viral. Oh, removing, oh, that's wonderful. Negative energy. Wow. Yes, Corey, honey. I think they know it. I really think they know it. And they know it's too late now, so they got to get prepared. Wow. 60,000 pounds of, really? Wait a minute, let me see that. Casey, this expansion, right after 60,000 pounds of explosives nitrate went missing from a train in California. 60,000, you all. So we're going to look at this. Come on, we're going to do this on here. We got you all in the comments. 60,000 nitrate missing. Look at that, you all. So we want to hear it. Wow, 60,000 pounds of explosive chemical lost on the rail shipment. Chemical ammonium nitrate. 30 tons of explosive lost. There's no way they could have lost that, you all. They claimed it leaked, but it was a liquid. Lost during the rail shipment. Yeah. During the rail shipment, you all. That's wild. Mama J, honey, they have, all of a sudden, they gave 50 senators, they offered satellite phones to over 100 senators in case of an emergency. So the communications, if the grid went down or something like that, so they could communicate with them. They have news that at least 50 of them accepted the satellite phones. This is like 19 hours ago. So we have this right here missing, explosive chemical missing, and then we have AI sending out a picture. We got that from Emmett, a 1455. Emmett said that AI had posted a video stating that there was an explosion at the Pentagon, and it was a fake video, and the stock market went down, and I guess it wanted a response, and that was true. So we went over here, and it said it market dips after the fake AI image during the Pentagon. So an AI generated image. You will not know what's real or not, you all. We don't know. We really don't know now what's real and what isn't. Added to the bill of hope. What is a penguin? 6 did investigate it. No explosion. Yeah. So there probably is something coming. Yeah, we really need to get prepared. And if you needed something to add to your bug out bag or survival thing and you had the extra money, you might want to get a satellite phone. Because there's some people on here who have it. I don't have one. I first heard about those, I think 2 years ago, maybe way last year. I thought that'd be nice to have, but I don't have one. I probably wouldn't know how to operate it. But I think they go around $1,000 or something, or you can get you a handheld CB radio, but it only has so far of a range. And if the grid goes down, satellite handheld CB radio things, they work from the satellites, not on the grid, because your cell phone won't work. And the government cannot track you if you're away from their tracking area. So all of that. Yes, Emmett, honey, thank you. That's right, she got it going. I don't know if there was other. AI is doing stuff. They told you number 5, no 5 times trying to find a number. Oh, see, we got these. Stony, 5 days. Wait, 50 U.S. Senators. So you all be finding this information. It's so important for you all to put your comments on here. That's why I don't want the comments deleted. I want you to please be respectful. We don't want to block because there's information. 50 U.S. senators have been handed a military satellite phone. So this is Stony 8526, 5 days before something big happens. I don't know what, but the source is the military itself. Two men, look at this. I watched a video of two men travel in through the future, time travel, where AI ruled instead of the government. Well, don't be surprised. The Florida Marquis, that's Susan Mott. Okay, you all, we got it. So there are a lot of things happening. Have you all felt an urgency to prepare? I have felt an urgency to do all that I can outside, the things that I have left undone, of course, the winter and stuff. Try to get my outdoor house in order, get my garden in order, get everything where it's easy to manage. Get some food to stock up on, some shelf-stable food, some water and stuff like that. Yeah, you can call from anywhere. Wow. Yeah. You heard about the explosion and you guess it was at the Pentagon. Yeah, y'all, what if it really did happen and they're not telling you and it's all make-believe? Yeah. You get a shortwave radio with a sidebar, listen to ham. And, well, I'm one to talk. Here I'm talking about getting all that stuff, you all. And I spent a whole day getting this satellite dish ready. I remember driving for 2.5 hours or over an hour somewhere up in northern Indiana to get this free satellite dish. It was a mesh satellite from a guy who was a ham radio operator. He went into assisted living and it was a great big thing. So I hauled it home on my trailer, dug a big hole, stuck it in the ground. I got all the rust off of it. I got the cable, but I ain't set it up. I haven't ran no cable or nothing, but I got a dish in there, but I don't know how to set it up. I may not even have the right things that came with it. So yeah. Okay, you all got a guy filming? Christine, honey, you tied up your loose ends and you made an appointment with your directive. Well, we don't want you to die. Christine Mott, don't be dying on us, okay? Don't die before your time. Yeah, don't be doing it, Christine Mott, honey. We want you around. I want to see you on this YouTube channel. I do. You make me smile. You do. Okay, well, that's okay. We got it. Enough said. That's right. We got to prepare you. We really do. We got to prepare. Okay. So, let's see. All right, you all. So we got it. No, I'm not related to Brianna Hill. I don't even know who that is. That's right. So this was that comment under that video right there. Sentient intelligence is already happening. That was, I don't know when it was, early this afternoon. Get Rosie, no. I did let Rosie go on the back porch with me. I opened up the door and it's where the banana plants are. And I said, now, Rosie, you stay right there. I went over to the grill and I put something on the grill. She was only out there for 2 minutes. And then she didn't get off the porch. I said, now you need to go back in that house, Rosie. So she looked at me from the other side of the porch. And then she started trotting to the door. And I opened the door and she went in. So she didn't get off the porch. That porch is near the road. And Rosie came from a shelter. All the cats were inside. They were inside cats. And out here, yeah. So no, I'm not going to let Rosie run around in the yard because I don't know what Rosie would do. Rosie needs to be trained because she's still a baby. Rosie's a little baby. So if you see her out here on a leash with me, I'm trying to train Rosie. I would love to let Rosie do what Kitty did. Kitty was our elder cat that we had for 18 years. And she passed, so we got Rosie from the shelter. Rosie was she was around 6 months old, maybe. And Kitty would come outside and she would lay on the porch or go in the mulch. But when she was younger, she went up into the pine trees, and I had to go hunt her down. That was kind of scary, you all. And the road has gotten so busy out there with all the farm equipment and stuff. So, yeah, the 50 senators have gotten satellite phones, and there was a fake image of the Pentagon explosion by AI. It was leaked. There's no telling what's coming our way, and the stock market kind of dipped a little bit. It dips after AI, and it goes viral. A fake image. So yeah, and then we had 30 tons of explosive chemicals lost during a rail shipment. I'm sure there's other things that are going on. Yeah. Yes, you listen to that. You know that cat bird. My husband had a app on his phone that identified it. He can identify it. The AI. Now, see, that's a good use of AI. They got an app that can identify all types of bird sounds, and if you point your phone to a flower, or plant or a leaf, it can tell you exactly what it is. See, that's a good use for it. AI has a lot of artificial intelligence. There's a lot of good uses out of it, a lot, because people who are loving and kind will use them in a good way, not a bad way, and they're very thankful. I'm thankful I'm using this in a good way, and I'm using this in a good way. I'm not I'm not abusing this intelligence. Okay, I'm not. I'm not abusing this or my cell phone. I'm using it for good. Okay, I am. I'm not using it for bad. But there are those who do use it for bad and who will use it for bad, and that's where the danger lies. We're going to have an EMP. Oh, you said get a Faraday cage. I thought you said Friday we're going to have an EMP. Um, some people wear tinfoil hats, you all. Broods of baby birds. Um, yeah. Well, not all local and state governments use things for bad, because there's good and bad in the government. There is good people, bad people. There's good and bad people on YouTube. There's good and bad people in your workplace. There's good and bad people in the stores. There's good and bad people in the libraries. Um, I hear a bird up there in the gutter, you all. That's right. Aw, that's right. Um, no, it doesn't make them all bad. No. Life is what we perceive it according to our own perceptions, because what I perceive in life, somebody like, see, you see it's all bad. I like to look for the good out there, because there is good out there. If I did not believe there was no good out there, I would not be on here talking to you all, because obviously I believe that there's good out here on the other side of this screen. Yeah, so I like to take a different point of view. Even though I know there's bad out there, I know there's good out there too. And so do a lot of other people. And that's what we want to focus on, while being aware of all the bad that's going on in the world, you all. We can do it. That's right. Well, I hope one day that you believe in the good. And I hope that that good is residing on the inside of you. Because if you let the bad reside on the inside of you, it's going to eat at you, and its roots are going to be a bitter root, and it's going to destroy who you are on the inside. You'll lose what little's left of you on the inside if you let that hate, that bitterness, and no, you got to have hope. You got to have hope, you all. But that's him, and this is me. We can agree to disagree. I think there's good in the world. I know there's good in the world. I'm talking to it, talking to you all, and seeing your comments. So yeah, all is not lost. That's right. It's not. So I'm going to go, you all. I didn't know all of that, but I like to read the comment section. I encourage you to comment, because we're working very hard on making sure the comments stay up regardless. Mickey, Michelle, honey, thank you. Yeah, we want to make sure everybody has a chance to comment, and you share your comments, because you might have something to say, and obviously you did have something to say, because we looked up 3 things that people said in the comment section, and we saw it, and that's a lot of really high level things to be looking at happening back to back. Something's going on. Thank you, Apple Brooks, honey. And if there's any other moderator on here, thank you. Thank you, Angelique, honey. And with that being said, you all, just hang in there. And if you hear something, put it in the comment sections. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Put it in there because we need to know. That's why it's important to come on here and communicate. With that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and thank you all so much for tuning in. Love you.